And now for something completely different. Usually I've been doing DC Universe Classics. Today I'm going to be looking at a Marvel Legends toy. This is going to be Bullseye. Now, Bullseye is a Marvel Legends from Series 9 of the Toy Biz in the Build-A-Figure Galactus line. His first appearance is Daredevil number 131 in 1976, and he was created by Marv Wolfman and John Romita Sr., which is neat. Now his name is really nebulous as to what his name is. He's gone by Benjamin Poindexter, and is also gone by the first names Lester and Leonard. And it's also very nebulous about just what which origin he's been given many over the years is actually true. But it is known that he was trained by the U.S. government to be an assassin, and then he went freelance. Honing his abilities so that he could turn virtually any object into a weapon that could kill. Now, he first encounters Daredevil and becomes a frequent Daredevil villain / enemy. Now he went insane in, I think, his second or third Daredevil appearance. It's when that's the first time that Frank Miller gets a hold of him, and that's really when he shines, is when Frank Miller sort of brings out the best, or in this case the worst, of the character. Now, his insanity, because he goes totally nuts in that issue. He sees everybody as Daredevil because he's been beaten by Daredevil a couple of times before, and they find out that it's been caused by a tumor. And well, eventually he's cured of that tumor. He goes to work for the Kingpin as his top assassin, and that's where he's hired to kill Elektra, which you may have seen the Daredevil movie is almost straight out of the comics. The lines that he says to her when he kills her, it's probably the one thing they did right. And so anyway, after that, he has a fall and is paralyzed, and somehow they replace some or all of his bones with adamantium bones. Not like Wolverine, they aren't bonded, they're just made in the shape of a bone and put into him. And that makes him a little bit less likely to injure, break his bones, and makes him hit harder too, and just in general pumps him up. And then he's pretty much goes away for a long time until Kevin Smith dusts him off in his reboot of the Daredevil series, in which he kills Karen Page. And eventually Daredevil catches him. He's sent to prison. and he spends a good amount of time behind there until Ed Brubaker picks up where Brian Michael Bendis left Daredevil in jail, and they actually transfer him to the same jail, and he tries to escape the jail with Kingpin and Daredevil, Matt Murdock, but Matt Murdock can't let him loose on the world, so he knocks him out, and he is still behind bars when he was approached by Norman Osborn to join the Thunderbolts. And then, of course, he is given a Hawkeye costume and becomes the new Hawkeye of the so-called Dark Avengers. And that's pretty much where he is now in the continuity. And let's talk about a little bit about the figure. He, unfortunately, they gave the Master Assassin, the Master Marksman, came with no weapons. No weapons at all. I mean, what were they thinking? No weapons, and he's a Master Marksman. So he's had to borrow, beg, steal. I even made something for him. This is you can see he's got a sai. That is one of Deadpool's sai that I gave him, and I made a little Ace of Spades for him to sort of capture that his most famous comic appearance, where he kills Elektra by, of course, stabbing her with her own sai, and after throwing the card at her. I chose the Ace of Spades because that's supposedly the card of death or whatever. I don't know if it was the Ace of Spades, but anyway, it's a pretty nice molding or sculpt on there in the face. Well, the costume, a little bit weird and painted lines. They're not totally round, but I'm willing to forgive it. You see on that collar part of the costume, he's got a nice belt. Actually, I think might have been reused from the Nick Fury. I'm not sure. And a little side holster that holsters nothing. But it is. He's got boots. Nice little. Look at that. Try on the boots. And there. Now this is the white I guess non-smiling version. There's another where he's got a very devilish smile on his face there, and the white parts of his costume are kind of a gray, darker tone. But I preferred this one. So anyway, that is Bullseye.